All right, guys. Welcome back to TD Fins Talk. All right. Um, this morning, it is early in the morning where I am in Dallas, Texas, and instead of seeing information on our rookies in training camp out of Miami, the news is flooded with the national anthem policy. Okay. Now, I actually got a chance to see this story late in the evening yesterday. I was gonna make a video of it right whenever it came out. But anytime you have politics involved and things that are very sensitive to others, you want to be careful. So I decided, let me get some sleep over it. Let me think about it. Let me think of my thoughts so I can make sure that I get them together. Okay. Now, it got so crazy for me that I even dreamt some of the things that I was thinking about. And it's interesting to me because I'm a football fan, diehard football fan. I love my Miami Dolphins. I am heavy. I mean, if you've been tuned into my channel, you know that I am a huge Miami Dolphins fan, and that's not going to change. Nothing's going to change that, guys. But at the end of the day, there are some things that I am very, very, very concerned about. Okay. Now, if you're already making assumptions in your mind, you're probably wrong. If you know me, um, basically, I'm actually disappointed in the fact that this issue has put a cloud over the sport that many of us love. This issue has caused so much division and unnecessary press to take away from a sport that we actually love, guys. Now, I'm the type of person that I love everyone, okay? I don't care what your religious beliefs are. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your orientation is. I don't care what your race is. To me, we are all one. We are all one. We're a part of the human race. So I love everyone. There is no aspect of life that I entertain division, okay? Now, the national anthem policy is a loaded issue, okay? It is beyond loaded, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and talk about two spectrums here, okay? Because a lot of people talk about issues just like this, but they have no idea of the reason whatever side that they're not on is arguing their point, okay? So I'm going to start out with one side who feels like it is very disrespectful to take a knee during the national anthem, okay? First and foremost, I want to say I love let me make sure I'm clear about it. The greatest country in this world, the United States of America. I love my country, okay? I was born and raised in the United States of America. I love our flag, everything that our flag represents. I love the red, white, and the blue, okay? Stars and stripes. I am an American citizen, born and raised, okay? This is my country, and I own that, and I love it. I love this country, especially if you look at what's going on around the rest of the world, which is kind of sad that a lot of people are clueless to what's going on in the world. All the wars and genocide and things like that that happens in Africa, the current slavery that is taking place in certain places around the world. The United States offers freedom, okay? It offers a place where you can be safe and you can pursue your dreams through hard work and determination, all right? And a place where you can raise your family and feel the ultimate level of freedom. That's what the United States represents, in my eyes, okay? Now, as far as kneeling during the national anthem, a lot of people feel like it is disrespectful to kneel during the national anthem. It is disrespectful to our troops. It is disrespectful to what this country stands for, okay? And I understand that, especially if you're a patriotic individual who puts the flag above everything, okay? That's the important thing. Those who feel this way, I do understand that you put the flag above everything. And you have the right to do that. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Now, let's look at the opposing issue, okay? There are individuals who would love to put the flag above everything, but they have decided to dive deep in what the flag represents and what it stands for. And I think I've already said it. The main thing that it stands for me, is freedom. Okay? Now, freedom means you have rights. You are protected under the Constitution of the United States of America. You have those rights on your side, and you are allowed to exercise those rights at any given moment without consequence. Okay? But there are some people in our country, mainly African Americans. Okay? I am an African American. There are individuals such as myself in this country that aren't allowed to exercise those rights in our life at all times or feel free about doing them. Okay? The issue of kneeling was a stance by certain players to bring awareness to the inequalities that are happening in the world that many African American people, I'm not going to say men and women, I mean males, but men and women, there's different inequalities. But in this case, it was about young male African Americans being killed by police officers at a ridiculous rate, while these young African American men were unarmed, not a threat to police officers, and excessive force being used against them. Now, a lot of people I've seen where they've argued, hey, if the police ask you something, you have to answer it. If the police tell you to do something, you have to do it. I understand all that. Obeying the laws of the land is something that my religion tells me to do. But what I don't understand is when a Caucasian counterpart does the same exact things that African Americans do as far as trying to exercise their rights, where they don't have to answer questions of police or have to obey certain commands that they give that are unlawful, nothing happens. And when an African American does these type of things, it can mean their life. Now, for those individuals who argue it doesn't matter, you should still follow any prompts or requests that law enforcement has of you. I'm trying to understand, when did law enforcement become judges? When did law enforcement determine, I told you to get out of your car, you're not getting out of your car, your judgment is death? When did that happen? When did, does the punishment fit the crime? And in many cases, there is no crime. And it's a scary situation. It is beyond scary. And for me, if you know anything about me, I grew up in South Florida, okay? Just right outside of Miami, Florida. And hey, this is TD Fins Talk. All you Dolphin fans, especially if you live in Miami. If you live in Miami, you know that there's two sides to everything, okay? You have I-95. East of I-95, that's tourist town, okay? West of I-95 is real life. It's where it gets real, okay? And if you know anything about Miami, you know that our youth go to school, walk in the neighborhood, and they have the access to see anything at any given time. They can see a murder happen right in front of their face. They can see robberies happen right in front of their face. They can be murdered. They can be robbed. Any crime that you can name, even our youth are exposed to it at a very high rate in South Florida. And if you're from Miami, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? So me growing up in an area like this, it created within me, because I've seen some things, okay? It created within me I'm not gonna say lack of, but I have minimal remorse to certain things. You know, I could be watching a movie with my wife and someone gets killed on the screen and my wife's like, oh my gosh. And I'm looking like, that's life. So whenever, and the only reason I'm explaining this to you all is because I'm not a very emotional person. It would take something really drastic and close and dear to me to where I would get very emotional. And last year, I was driving in my car, and on the radio, I had heard the news that another unarmed African American teenager had been gunned down by a police officer for not following their prompts. And I've heard this for several years now. I mean, it's been happening. It's been happening so much that even me, which is a shame, have become somewhat numb to it. Like, okay, it's another one. Okay, there goes another one, with no remorse. And then it allowed me, while I was driving, listening to it, I started to think about it, because I have 5 children, all African American. And I started to think about it. Wow, what if that was me or one of my children? And something deep down inside caused me to just start crying. It caused me to just go straight into tears. I got very emotional, because for the first time, believe it or not, within the country that I love, the United States of America, for the first time, I recognize what racism really was. And I know some people may say, oh, is that the first time you recognize racism? I mean, I've seen symptoms all the time, but it was like, okay, that's normal, hey. But just to actually feel that because my skin is black, wow, I'm automatically at a disadvantage. And I started to realize I was born like this. Am I ashamed of it? Hell no. Proud as can be. I am proud. I am a proud black man who loves the United States of America, who loves what the United States of America is supposed to stand for. So for me, it's mixed emotions, because I'm not the type of person that wants to disrespect not your flag, but my flag, the United States of America. I don't want to disrespect our flag. And I'm not going to disrespect our flag. But at the end of the day, our flag, which represents all the people, that's what people need to understand. Our flag is a culmination of all of us. But when our flag isn't providing the same meaning for all of us, then that's when we have a problem. We have a larger issue. It makes me feel like I am representing a flag that doesn't represent me. Now, those of you who feel like it is disrespectful to take a knee during the national anthem, then all I am saying here is, do you feel like it is disrespectful for others in this country to not allow the flag to mean the same thing to me as it does to you? The freedoms that it provides you, should it provide me those same freedoms? Should it provide me those same liberties? Should it provide me those same opportunities? regardless of the color of my skin, regardless of my orientation, regardless of my religion? Shouldn't that same flag allow me to enjoy the same civil liberties that you have? I'm just curious because I don't know it all. I don't have all the answers. But I would like for those who feel like taking a knee just to bring awareness to the flag. I don't think it's disrespecting the flag. I think it's bringing awareness to the flag. And like I said, the flag represents all the people. So taking a knee is bringing awareness to you. It's supposed to make all citizens of America uncomfortable to take a knee during the flag. But when do we become a nation that only looks at what's happening and not evaluate why it's happening? This is the greatest country in the world. We hear all this talk about make America great again. Well, guess what? That's one of the things that took away the greatness that it had. The inequalities. So if you really believe in making America great again, which I do, I love it. Make America great again. Then can we as a whole, a body, a nation under the same flag, me, you together, make sure that that flag represents the same liberties for everyone under it? Because I love my country, wouldn't trade it for the world. I just want to know that my country loves me. And in regards to football, in this case, the players have the possibility of being suspended for this. Now, I understand, just like any job, when you have a code of conduct and a policy, see, the NFL, they did it smart, They went ahead and made a policy. So it's not like there can be a lawsuit or anything like that. All the analysts saying, the NFL can get sued for this and things like that. Stop. There is a policy in place now, and the players are expected to follow that policy. First off, I don't believe you're going to suspend anyone. Okay? But let's just hypothetically say that you were willing to go that far. I want to talk to the NFL players for a second, okay? This whole issue is a huge game of checkers. Okay? And let me be clear. The NFL has a board full of kings. And the players have not created any kings in this game of checkers, okay? The NFL has their kings. They have the policy. They have what they need in place. What I urge the NFL players to do is stop playing checkers. You have to play chess, okay? I am never going to be the one to tell you how to voice your opinion and how to protest. But I will offer an influence on how you protest. In my opinion, okay? I feel like every player should stand for the national anthem. And I know that's not the popular thing to say. I don't care what's not popular to everybody out there that feels that it's not popular. You have your belief, stick with it. I respect it. That's the difference. I respect your opinion. If you don't respect mine, I respect the fact that you don't respect mine. It's that simple. Okay? Because this is just a suggestion. NFL players need to start playing chess. I think you should stand and stand proudly for the national anthem because you are in a great country. One who, as I've already stated, may not have the same outlook for all its citizens, but you have to ask yourself, what are we fighting for? Okay? I just personally feel like there are more effective ways to get the job done. And in my opinion, I think that all players need to come together And all players need to make a stand that cannot be reprimanded whatsoever. And the most impactful way that you can make that stand is going out on that field and balling out as best as you can. And when you ball out as best as you can, that results into media, press. And there was a player, man, I forgot the name already, that already started this. And I think that we need to do this league-wide. Whenever they're up there asking you questions, hey, you had an amazing game today, 3 touchdowns, 200 yards. You know, what caused that? That's when you raise your signs. And you put up signs that send messages. And they can't avoid it. Every highlight they see, they either don't get an interview or you're going to be on national television speaking your truth of the inequality and the things that need to change in this country. And a lot of you, and especially Miami Dolphins, we have a lot of players who have taken knees, and I respect them for that. Okay? Once again, I'm not against, I can't tell you how to protest. Okay? So that's why I say I respect you taking a knee. I just personally feel we can be a lot more effective. Taking a knee is playing checkers on a board where they already have all the kings. It's time to play chess. Go out, ball out, and put your message through the media when they have to interview you. And I think that in this situation, you'll get so many more players on board. Caucasian players would even be on board. Because that's what it's going to take, all players, all races, to be on board. To help those in this country that do not have even a fair shake at a successful life. That's exactly what it's going to take. And think about it. If you were to protest on the national anthem and they were to suspend you 4 games, think about it. Some of you make so much money that 4-game suspension could cost you $3-4 million in some cases. It can cost you a lot of money. And some people say, who cares? That's the cost of freedom. Yes, it is the cost of freedom. But you know what we can do with that $4 million? We can go put some money towards a senator in a specific state who doesn't believe in the same views that you have. A congressman in a state who doesn't have the same views of freedom for you. That same money, you can ball out, put your message across, and you can tell the nation, the $1 million that I would have lost from sitting down today, I'm going to put it behind this congressman in this state or this senator in this state because they believe in my freedoms. They believe in police reform. That's chess, not checkers. Not checkers, nitpacking, just hitting each other back and forth and nothing is moving forward. That's all we're doing. It's a dialogue. That's all it is. It's just talking and talking and talking. Then someone throws a curveball to get you away from the real issue, and now you're trying to defend that. You're trying to defend this. You're trying to defend it. Next thing you know, you finally defend that. A year and a half, 2 years later, now you're back to the main issue. Another curveball comes in. Nothing's never getting done. It's not making it safer for me or my children. It's not at all. Stop playing checkers with these people. Play chess. That same money that they're expected to take out of your pocket, make it count to the max. Go to the states where these crimes have happened. Go to the states where politically they don't feel that you deserve the same liberties. I don't care if it's Democratic or Republican. That's another thing about me. And that's another thing that people don't realize. There are Democrats who share the same views as me, and there are Republicans that share the same views as me. And that's what people think. That all parties, to me, Democrat and Republic, create division as well. When at the same token, if I'm a Republican, there's Democrats that I agree with. If I'm Democratic, there are Republicans that I agree with. It just depends on the issue. Nobody's diving into the issues. They're only talking about that face, this side or that side. And nobody's talking about what they represent. No one. And I'm sorry if I'm saying no one. I guess I'm getting a little more dramatic right now, but I think you get what I'm saying. A large amount of people do not really look at what each individual stands for. They just look at the bigger picture of this is that side and that's that side. I'm just tired of the division. Division never solved anything. All it does is break things apart. Okay? So, all I'm going to say one last time is it's time to play chess. Okay? It's time to play chess because we need to play football. We need to give the people what they love to see. And these other issues, use your platform to leverage it the most effective way you can. In my opinion, once again, an opinion, the way that many people are doing it is playing checkers. It's not getting it done. Let the world know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you're going to do it. I can guarantee you it's going to scare those individuals. And let me go on a quick little tangent rant real quick, okay? Let's just be honest here. If you're a citizen of the United States of America and you believe all people deserve the same liberties and freedom, then you should be 100% behind this. You should be 100% behind everyone having the same opportunity in life. Everyone having the same rights in life. If a police officer tells a white man, get out of the car, and the Caucasian man doesn't get out of the car, he does not deserve to die. So if that happens to an African American, he does not deserve to die either. But let me talk to the hateful America, the part of America that has a lot of hate in their heart, okay? Because I see you. I watch a video and I read the comments. You say you stand for America, but yet you're in the comments saying, kill all these monkeys. I was born and raised in this country as a human being, not a monkey, okay? Not a monkey. I am a man, just like many of you are men. You show your hate when you do things like that. So all the individuals that feel like, hey, why do we always have to make this a race thing? Go ahead and read those comments and you go ahead and tell the same people making those comments, why do they have to make it a race thing? Because it is a race thing. This is happening to unarmed black men. And it's not right. So if you really don't want to disrespect the flag, make sure you uphold what it stands for 100%. And that's freedom, liberties, and equality for all. All. A-L-L. All. Okay? All right, guys. That's my take on the national anthem policy. And, I mean, there was even reports that just came out that they're actually going to revisit it. They put it on hold or whatever it may be. Regardless, once again, I'm telling you players, you need to get together and because you have the opportunity. They pay you millions of dollars. They pay you millions and millions of dollars. Okay? You have the platform to go on when every time you get interviewed, you don't have to make it about football at that point. You can make it about the survival of you and your fellow Americans. You can make it about politics. And when I say politics, making sure that the people that this country has in office are the same people who agree that we all should have the same equal rights. And we need police reform. We need police reform. And it's quite easy, guys. People say, what police reform do you need? And I'll be clear with you. In my opinion, the only police reform that we need is better accountability for their mistakes. Because I'm going to tell you the reason why a lot of them aren't being charged or anything like that for these crimes, because it's their job. When you go to your job and you make a mistake, the worst they can do is fire you. So if a police officer pulls their gun and shoots a man, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I shot him. Oh, it was a mistake. Yeah, you weren't good at the job. We have to fire you. That's the worst. And sometimes they don't even get fired. But that's the worst because it's their job. But now, if you want to be a police officer, we need reform that states if you want to be a police officer, then you can't afford to make those mistakes. You will be held criminally liable for even making those mistakes. And some people say, hey, well, that might reduce the amount of officers that even take that risk. That's the job they sign up for. And then I would feel so much better about having policy to pay law enforcement more. See, our school teachers aren't getting paid any money. Our law enforcement barely get paid any money. These should be some of the highest paid people in our nation, in line with doctors and everything. But in regards to police officers getting paid more money, they need to be able to do their job and do it effectively in the right way. And that's whenever, me personally, I would support something like that. But guys, let me go ahead and get off of the subject. This is TD Finch Talk. That is my take on the whole national anthem protest. Again, stand proudly for the country that you live in, but make sure that you stop playing checkers and play chess. There's more effective ways to where they're not going to be trying to dig in your pocket. Because trust me when I tell you, people think that, if they should protest anyway. They're not going to suspend everyone. Listen, to make a point, I believe they would make a point in some cases. Just to show that they're your boss. They have control over you. Stop playing checkers and play chess, guys. This is TD Finch Talk. Peace. I'm out.